day when we can be delivering resources. As we continue to do the work of recovering from the impacts of the pandemic, I really want to make sure that no worker, no family, no community, no municipality is left behind. And I think this is the third community project funding investment that we've been able to deliver. The first was La Collaborativa, workforce development. I think that was $300,000. And then there was a climate mitigation project jointly with Chelsea and Everett. That amount escapes me, but I'll have it in a moment. And here today, these long overdue and much needed investments in infrastructure. And I always do believe that our greatest infrastructure investment is that of our people. And so when you support our people, welcome President Robinson, good to see you. And so when you make those investments in the infrastructure that supports our people in navigating this city, that supports everything. And of course, when you see those investments, it can be very demoralizing when you don't see comparable investments in your city and your infrastructure. This fosters your aspiration, your mobility, your economic trajectory, and of course, most of all, safety. Because we have seen an uptick in cyclists, pedestrian, compromised safety when it comes just to navigation. So welcome. It's good to be with everybody again. And I want to thank you for joining our conversation today as we come together and collectively celebrate this $2 million investment in critical infrastructure here in Chelsea. I know I went a little bit out of order, President Robinson, so I'll turn it over to you and I'll follow you, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
I'd like to welcome everybody here today. It's a very big day for the city of Chelsea. As the recovery from the pandemic is underway, the purpose of today's event is to welcome the Congresswoman to Chelsea, celebrating this historic $2 million earmark she secured, and discuss how this earmark, along with the city's strategic investment in downtown Broadway corridor, are contributing to the quality and durable recovery. The downtown Broadway corridor is home to over 120 minority-owned small businesses, a range of housing options, and bustling public parks. Modernizing infrastructure, supporting small businesses, and empowering residents to shape the future of downtown are key to promoting responsible, sustainable growth. Congresswoman Pressley has been a big supporter of the city, especially as it relates to small business needs, climate resilience, economic growth. Moreover, the Congresswoman has strived to ensure all of our residents, regardless of their background, income, recovery from the pandemic equally. As such, I'm pleased to introduce Congresswoman Pressley.
Thank you. I am always going to give you your flowers because this is the longest serving Black elected official in the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So I thank you for paving the way for me and for diverse representation writ large. And also, again, I want to thank everyone around the table here because I do believe the best collaborations are those that are community-driven and government-endorsed. And community project funding is an example of that. It's us governing and working to deliver investments cooperatively instead of federally us telling you what you need. We're actively listening and being led by what you believe are the most important investments. So thank you, Council President Robinson, for that introduction. Again, thank everyone here for your sweat equity, your thought leadership, your advocacy, which makes this most recent federal investment possible. The funds we have secured will support the improvement of the Broadway corridor, home to an array of small businesses, vibrant public spaces, high-frequency public transit routes, and dense residential housing. This project encompasses an ambitious vision for the comprehensive reconstruction of the streetscape and utility infrastructure within the city. These resources are a direct investment in our city infrastructure, in our families, and our communities. I take immense pride in our collective efforts on this, and I firmly believe that these resources represent a step towards accelerating economic opportunity and equity. And as I said, what I remain squarely focused on as we do the work of recovering from this pandemic, although we know that these inequities and disparities existed long before the pandemic, but as we do the work of recovering from the pandemic, that we leave no worker, no family, no community or municipality behind. So again, I thank you all for joining us in this important discussion. I look forward to hearing from all of you as to how you see the benefit and the impact of these funds and the stewardship of them. And so for now, I will pass it over to Alex to provide an opening statement and to introduce our esteemed roundtable participants.
Great, thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you everybody for joining us this morning. So as Congresswoman Pressley mentioned and as Council President Robinson stated, this really does represent an unprecedented investment in infrastructure and the community in the downtown. So with these funds, the city, in conjunction with many of our partners that are at the table today, will be modernizing streetscape and utility infrastructure in the downtown in order to improve public transit, reduce air pollution, enliven green spaces, and ensure that all residents have access to clean drinking water and safe streets. The last time investments like these occurred in downtown Broadway were the 1970s, so we've been decades and decades without the appropriate amount of funding in our community, and so we're extremely grateful for the Congresswoman's efforts in securing these funds. So for today's roundtable, I'm hoping folks wouldn't mind introducing themselves and the organization that they're with, and just sharing a little bit about your connection to downtown Broadway and why this project is important to you and your organization. Beginning with our representative, Judith Garcia.
Thank you so much, Alex. Hi everyone, my name is Judith Garcia. I have two roles. I actually wear two hats today. I've been a city councilor for District 5, which is the heart of Chelsea. This is the area that is going to benefit from the amazing work that you're doing. But I'm also the state representative of the 11th Suffolk District, Chelsea and Everett. And this is an incredible project for us because for the past 8 years, I've heard my constituents, one, talk about the need for more access to Broadway. But two, it's very special for the senior residents who live at 272 Broadway, which is at the intersection of one of the most dangerous, actually the Commonwealth's most dangerous intersection where the most vehicle accidents happen, pedestrian accidents happen. And with this project, Congresswoman Pressley, I want to commend you for doing the back-end work, because we know that getting this funding takes a lot of work in the back end, right? And those closed doors, you're getting this funding, you're having triple impact. You are tackling social determinants of health. We are making sure that downtown becomes more accessible for all, for pedestrians, for cyclists, for people who want to walk there. We're inviting new customers to our downtown where we have small businesses, a lot of them people of color who need more customers, but above all, you're saving lives. And we forget that. It's been 8 years that these senior residents at 272 Broadway have asked for a traffic light. A traffic light. It sounds like nothing, but we need the funding. And the funding that you're bringing here today is going to make that happen. In 2018, we started with the Reimagining Broadway plan. And it was a plan that began with 2018. It was a plan that involved voices of key stakeholders, of small business owners, of the council. I want to also commend Councilor Lourdes Jesus, who's here. And we began a plan and a list of goals, along with the administration, led by Alex Train as well, and many of the city workers here, and we detailed a lot of the goals that we have to improve and reimagine our downtown, but we needed the money. And today, it's a joyous day because you're here and you brought the money. So thank you so much.
But it is a testament to the leadership here at every level, and I don't want to limit that leadership to elected officials because you have incredible community advocates here, but you all work together cooperatively. And as I so often characterize Chelsea, it is tiny, but it is mighty. Okay, so, all right.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Anna Haddingham. I'm the Director of nonprofit dedicated to uplifting immigrant communities in Chelsea. And I guess I'm here really representing the youth that have participated in this project over the last few years. And I do want to recognize the city has been very inclusive of young people in this project. They've been a really key element. Chelsea is a young city. And our youth, in particular, our youth from La Clavetia that are interested in STEM careers have gotten to actually work alongside architects, designers, scientists to help in this planning process. They're doing a project that continues this summer using really like high-tech software and different tracking systems to be able to understand how design can actually lend itself towards inclusion, equity, can actually change our sort of mental health and our sense of levels of stress as we're walking around our downtown. So I've learned a lot from them, and just proud to see our youth at the same table decision makers in the community, that their voices, it's a complicated topic. They're also able to speak out, concerns around gentrification, around inclusion, around how accessible is this for all people. And their voices are being heard. So I want to recognize the city and the ability to have young people at the table as well.
Yes. I mean, Chelsea never disappoints. It is one of the cities that has a very durable and unique intergenerational model of organizing and community building, and certainly La Clavetia plays a critical role in that. So thank you so much.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Sarah Armand. I'm the co-deputy director of Reading Cities of Environmental and Social Justice Organization, working to improve the environment and public health in Chelsea and East Boston. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Pressley, for constantly delivering for us. Thank you so much, Representative Garcia, and the city for being incredible partners on this as well. I think the one thing that really comes to mind looking at all these projects that you've worked on getting us funding for is that environmental injustices, air pollution, extreme heat, these are not things that occur in silos. They transcend municipal boundaries. They impact people's lives on the day-to-day. So investing in one part of Chelsea or one part of Pembroke, one part of East Boston is really investing in people's lives and improving their air quality, clean water, all those kind of things for them. So thank you so much, Congresswoman Pressley, for your work on that. I think specifically, Alex, we're speaking about when you're talking about improving public transit infrastructure in Chelsea. One of the things that Greenwich works on is transit justice. So really investing in public transit is a way of investing in people to get to work, to get to school, to see their families, and really work on those social relationships that have been so isolated during the pandemic. So really excited to continue seeing what this project will be for the city of Chelsea. And thank you so much, Congresswoman Pressley, again.
Thank you. I was going to say it's a humbling honor, but actually I'm very boastful about the assets that the Massachusetts 7th has. And I'm grateful for organizations like yours. This really is a national model that you call Massachusetts 7th and Chelsea specifically home. Yeah, so thank you. You all have a footprint in many areas of progress, and thank you, and activism too. Council President Robinson, I know you sort of spoke at the outset. Is there anything else that you wanted to enumerate before we pass the mic?
Yes, I think that opens a great opportunity for the city to be able to develop downtown economically, housing, address parking issues, and concern we as a community.
Thank you. And I see our dear friend, State Senator Sally Domenico, who represents this community very well. Senator, we'd love to have you join us at the table.
Hang in the back, it's all good.
We know you don't see detention, only to make an impact, but we want you to take a seat at this table. Right next to me. We grew up in this together. It's wonderful to do this work alongside you. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Hassan. I'm the Executive Director at the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce. I'm truly honored and privileged to be here today among so many community members. I'm happy to represent the small business owners of Broadway. Our offices are located in downtown Broadway, so we take a lot of pride in what happens in downtown Broadway. We work very closely with the city of Chelsea, Alex and his department, to kind of make sure that the small business owners' voices heard and the resources that they need, they're receiving or have access to. So I'm really honored to be here. I appreciate all the work that you've done to help with the infrastructure of downtown Broadway. I'm not only the executive director, but I'm a lifetime resident of Chelsea, raising my own family. walk up and down Broadway, which at one point really wasn't something that I would want to do. And that's thanks to all the hard work of everybody in this room here today. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, and if you don't mind just expounding a little bit, what have been some of the concerns or aspirations of small business owners, and the ways in which you see this investment supporting the actualization of that?
Trying to get some of the newer citizens to the community to visit and frequent the downtown area is probably one of the biggest challenges with the small business owners. You have your loyal customers, but trying to reach out to some of the newer citizens in the community is definitely a challenge.
To sort of incentivize foot traffic and, excellent. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Steve LeFerrier. I'm the Director of Real Estate at the Neighborhood Developers. We're a nonprofit community development corporation that's focused on creating opportunities for people to impact decisions and to have connection for a safe place to live. Sitting around this table really reminds me of the Transformative Development Initiative sponsored by Mass Development, and it's just sort of the group of stakeholders that came together, nonprofits, the city, to think about the downtown, to think about how we support small businesses and how we support families, and how we bring the right resources so that families and small businesses can take advantage of all of the resources that are at either side of the corridor and in the middle of the corridor. And I think that this investment is a huge step in creating, in strengthening what's already a really great corridor and making it safer and making it more accessible to residents and small businesses. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
My name is Omar Miranda. I work with the city in the Housing and Community Development Department. I'm the Small Business Development Specialist. So small business kind of my thing, so I talk to them constantly, and like Jen said, we partner a lot together, and this project definitely helped our downtown Broadway business to keep their doors open. Chelsea has the good problem of having full storefronts, and there's a lot of communities that have the opposite situation, so we want to make sure we keep those storefronts, occupied and busy.
Agree.
So I'll be brief, because there's so many that I could just echo everything that so many of the folks have already spoken about. But Congresswoman, thank you for always being so fearless and really knowing how to hustle for the funding that we need in our community. For those who live in our community that are going through these challenges on a daily, as a native, I get to see my community change once again, and this time for the better, right? And as an organizer, because I also wear two hats, I'm also part of La Colaborativa, I was able to join our youth department to listen to some of the questions that our youth had for our departments, and to see how they integrated some of the ideas and the designs that we're actually going to see put up in our community. And honestly, the leadership of our departments. I mean, I drive Alex train crazy sometimes. I'm always looking into Carl's up. Carl, how can I help Carl? I have this constituent, Ana Sofia. I mean, there's so many folks within this building that do the day-to-day work, responding to our constituents and making sure that as your leadership is bringing in the funds, that we are making sure that those on the ground are the ones leading the design, the ideas, the initiatives. And so thank you so much, and thank you so much for the amazing team that we have here and our leaders in the community.
Well, I recall saying to Gladys at one point at the height of the pandemic, when there were these emergency supplemental funds that were coming out, and particularly for Title I funding, ESSER funding within our schools, there were a lot of people that were nervous about using this one-time funding because they said, we're not going to have it in perpetuity, and we don't want to stand up things that we won't be able to sustain. And I said, well, if you don't want it, Chelsea will know what to do with it. Because we have a cute job in the meantime. And I would also say, I know I was lifting up how Chelsea is very good at practicing this intergenerational organizing, but I also think you modeled something. I think it seems like you have like a participatory budgeting process in everything. That you're always actively seeking community input. but you all know I believe the people closest to the pain should be the closest to the power, driving and informing the policy making, and you all model that each and every day, not just informing and shaping the policies, but the funds on the municipal level, the state and the federal level. So thank you for your leadership and for just being tremendous role models. I also want to say that in Chelsea, this is the city that I visit, and more often than not, when we go around the table, people will say, I'm here wearing 2 hats. I'm here wearing 3 hats. I'm here wearing 4 hats. I don't know what's in the water in Chelsea, but okay. So how many hats are you wearing today? Okay. All right. Well, we know that because you're not a woman. We were all at this, yes. Senator DiDomenico, if you'd like to talk about this $2 million investment and what this will mean in the reimagining of Broadway.
Well, no surprise, obviously, you know the needs of our communities, our district, and, you know, downtown area has been critically important for Chelsea, and as time has gone on, I know that Jay Ash, Tom Rosino, Ned, Alex, they've been working very hard to try to revitalize the area over time, and this investment is going to go a long way. But more importantly, I just want to thank you for your investment in our people, because that is where this money is going to transform lives. It's not just about infrastructure, it's not just about small businesses, it's about the people that are in these small businesses that are going to take advantage of this neighborhood, and that are going to be walking those streets and taking advantage of the amazing opportunities that this $2 million can present for them. So that's something that I wanted to convey to everybody here, because dollars have people's names behind them, have faces behind them, and you figure that out, and you've done this your entire career across the City Council, in Congress, but not just in this area too. Obviously, this community, food insecurity, housing, BJ. You've led us so many issues, anti-poverty issues that our residents depend on and don't have time to advocate for themselves. They don't know where to go. Sometimes they're cynical of government. Sometimes they're afraid of government. And you step up each and every time and be their voice in Congress. And you are unafraid, you fight hard, and you are one of those stars in Congress that when people look and watch on TV or they see you in person, they're going to get love. And that's why it's so important to have you in this community.
That's how I feel about you, brother. No, I mean that. We grew up in this together, so it's an honor to now be in this role and continue to partner with you. So we've been in each other's lives since your hair was all dark.
That's right. And
we're all hair. So long time.
I'm not the best at to stay in this environment.
Yeah.
This is the result of my wife.
Oh, you won't get it later. Okay, I'll let the don't use that. No, you know, we're being light, but it is good to have a moment of levity and to be celebratory, knowing that the tangible impact, of these investments. So I appreciate all of you. Okay, great. All right, well, what a wonderful time we've had together so far. And now we're getting to the moment everyone's been waiting for. To recap, we are here to celebrate and uplift the $2 million federal investment made possible through community project funding. This is for the downtown Broadway infrastructure project here in Chelsea. Again, the greatest investment that we can make, our greatest infrastructure, is our people. And this is going to support the safety of our people, the health of our people, their economic mobility, and the vibrancy of our small businesses. It has truly been my honor to fight alongside everyone here today to deliver these federal funds. I also want to acknowledge the partnership of my partners in good trouble, in Senators Warren and Markey, respectively. So can we please thank the both of them for their support in making this possible as well. Senators Warren and Markey, we would not have gotten over the finish line, so we have to acknowledge that. This funding will Broadway corridor, home to an array of small businesses, vibrant public spaces, high-frequency public transit routes, and dense residential housing. The project envisions a comprehensive reconstruction of streetscape and utility infrastructure to address safety issues, ultimately save lives, to enhance accessible and safe public transit, and to promote an equitable economic recovery for the city and its residents. This project encompasses a holistic approach to reconstructing the streetscape and utility infrastructure. Its goals, again, include addressing safety concerns, enhancing public transit accessibility and reliability, I want to really underscore that, and promoting an equitable economic recovery for the city and its residents. This project strives to create a sustainable and thriving urban environment. Again, I thank everyone here for contributing to today's success. I thank you for your thought leadership, your counsel, your partnership, your sweat equity, your visioning, and I eagerly anticipate our ongoing collaboration as we strive to create an environment that really promotes economic opportunities for all, ensuring that the benefits of this project are accessible to everyone and contribute to the overall prosperity of Chelsea. I do believe that our greatest wealth as a Commonwealth is the health of our people, and I do believe that this supports our health in every single way. Whether you're talking about the vibrancy and the resilience of our small businesses, whether you're talking around literal public safety, making sure that people can navigate this corridor safely and have the peace of mind, in particular, as Representative Garcia lifted up, our elders to have that peace of mind, or whether you're talking about our other efforts specific to environmental justice work. You know, this is promoting the health of our residents and is a great investment in our greatest infrastructure, which is our people. Okay, and now we will hear from City Council President Leo Robinson. Following President Robinson, we'll hear from State Representative Judith Garcia, and then we'll hear from State Senator Sally Domenico before presenting the check. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Also, I'd just like to recognize the Senator Sally Domenico, also with Garcia. Thank you for joining this morning. The City of Chelsea is pleased to announce a $2 million earmark focused on upgrading utility and surface infrastructure in the downtown secured by Congresswoman Pressley. The city is grateful to the Congresswoman Pressley for securing this much needed funding in support of the city's council's goals in modernizing the downtown. The downtown Broadway corridor is a cornerstone of the city's economic development agenda. City Council has invested significant resources and city staff have concentrated, led a variety of projects in the downtown. These include the storefront improvement program, redesign of Bellingham Square Plaza, and public transportation initiative. The resources secured by the Congresswoman Pressley will enable the city to carry out a significant infrastructure project vital to the future of downtown, centered on utility, reconstruction, and transportation improvements. This project will improve water quality as well as ensure an uninterrupted supply of clean water by replacing all lead water pipes. Moreover, the project will upgrade utilities to promote future economic development, such as new commercial development and mixed-income housing. Accounting for climate change, new drainage infrastructure will be designed to lessen the flooding during extreme storms. The project is currently under design, with construction slated to begin in 2023. The city and the partners will work closely with small businesses and downtown residents to minimize disruption during the project. Upon completion of this project will unlock unprecedented opportunities for economic and small business development. This will complete the city's sizable investment to continually support small businesses, improve public transportation, overhaul streetscape infrastructure to enliven the downtown. Admittedly, this project would not have been possible without the Congresswoman's drive and advocacy and tenacious work on securing these funds. On behalf of the City of Chelsea, I want to thank the Congresswoman Pressley and her team for bringing these resources to Chelsea. Now we'll hear from State Rep.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Buenos dias. A great day today. Good morning. It is always an honor to welcome our champion, our Congresswoman Pressley, who every time she comes to Chelsea, she brings the checks. And she centers equity, always, in her policy, in her agenda, and we need to recognize that. Every time she brings a check, there's triple impact. And today you've heard from my colleague, the Council President, Leo Robinson, about the long list of infrastructural improvements that we will see with this $2 million earmark that the City of Chelsea will benefit from. But as a Chelsea native, as the councilor for the past 8 years of Broadway, I've heard and seen our small businesses, the residents of this community suffer and cry because of the lack of investments in the economic prosperity of the small businesses, but also mobility access. And with this fund, you're allowing us to do that. You're allowing us to reimagine Broadway as a place that welcomes all. Either through cycling, either through walking there for our seniors to feel safe. This area, the Lower Broadway corridor, has one of the Commonwealth's most dangerous intersections where we have seen, unfortunately, and witnessed fatalities. And that is going to end as soon as we put this money to work. And I think that is the real impact of this project. The administration here at the Chelsea level has worked hard to develop the studies and the projects that will allow us to improve traffic in Broadway, but this money is going to allow us to achieve those goals. And I think that is the true celebration. We're going to reimagine Broadway and live it in a way that we have not seen since the 1970s. So thank you, Congresswoman Pressley, for always being here for us and for the impact and the mark that you're living in this great city. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I've already, told the Congresswoman, and many of you heard what I just said earlier about what this funding means to Chelsea and what it means to our residents. Congresswoman Pressley is a champion, a fighter, someone who doesn't make excuses. She just goes and gets it. She fights for what we need in this community, and what she said earlier today, the inequities that exist in this district. And I always say that Everett, Chelsea, and Chelsea in particular, we need more than our fair share. Because we have more than our fair share of issues and obstacles that confront our residents every single day. And our Congresswoman recognizes that. And she understands our people, understands our community. And these investments go beyond the dollars that you're seeing in bricks and mortar, and in pavement, and in sidewalks. They create opportunities for our businesses, for our residents, give them resources to live, to buy food, support their families, for housing. All of that starts with getting a fair shake, a fair opportunity to succeed in our community. And our Congresswoman has been doing that in Congress, not just in this area, but also in housing, immigrant issues, food insecurity, educational opportunities. That is what we want as our representative in Congress, someone who doesn't just talk about bringing resources, but actually has results. Support is great. We all love support. We want action. And our Congresswoman brings that action to our communities. And that's evident today with this $2 million investment in our community. So thank you, Congresswoman, for all that you do every day for our district and for our communities. Alex Train, the guy who makes it all happen. He's just
Good afternoon, everybody. So on behalf of the City of Chelsea, we want to thank Congresswoman Pressley for her unremitting support on this effort, as well as on a number of small business development, and climate resilience efforts in the community. You know, time and time again, the Congresswoman and her staff have made sure that resources are equitably dispersed to Chelsea. We have ambitious projects like the downtown Broadway infrastructure project that, you know, this represents the first federal investment in. She's been willing to take risks on Chelsea. She sees the necessity of these projects as well as the durable long-term impact of these, and greatly appreciate it. I also want to thank our elected officials, Senator Salvi Domenico, State Representative Garcia, City Council President Leo Robinson, and City Councilor Norlis de Jesus for attending this morning and for being staunch supporters of this effort, as well as ensuring that the city invests resources in upgrading utility and surface infrastructure to promote safety, resilience, and a better quality of life. Lastly, I just want to express our gratitude to our community-based partners. This project would not be possible without them. That includes La Cooperativa and many of the youth that have been working for years with the city on this endeavor, the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, who have been vital allies in supporting our small business community, Green Roots, who have been working with us to promote public transit, as well as the neighborhood developers, who have been strong partners of the cities as we seek to promote economic mobility and affordable housing in the downtown. So we're sincerely grateful for this opportunity to carry out this project. Again,